Dear students, in your exam khata, you have to draw and label the parts of the uterus. Okay, and you are very fond of drawing the uterus like this. Okay, you have drawn here and then label it. But from now, you will draw according to the scientific method. How? Let's see. Dear students, in the examination, when you want to draw the different parts of the uterus and vagina, you will start with two lines. Okay, and these two lines will be right angle to each other. Clear? Right angle means the angulation between this line and this line will be 90 degree. Okay, here it is the 90 degree here. And after that, you will draw the English letter W, remaining this line in the center position. How? Like this. Okay. After that, you have to draw the vaginal wall. We know that cervix is inserted into the vagina. So it is the anterior wall of the vagina, and here it is the posterior wall of the vagina. And anterior wall of the vagina, it is 7.5 centimeter long, and posterior wall of the vagina is 9 centimeter long. So it is longer than the anterior wall. Okay. The area of the cervix, this portion is the cervix. Within the vagina, this area is the intravaginal part of the cervix, and this is the supravaginal part of the cervix. Now you will draw another line from the upper part of the cervix in this manner, creating about 120 degree or 125 degree angulation with that line. Then you will draw an inverted U from one upper end of the W to the other upper end of the W. Okay, W means the cervix. Keeping this line at its center position. Now, just identify the midpoint from here to here. Here is the midpoint, and here this one is the midpoint, and from there the intramural and the isthmus of the uterine tube will be drawn. Okay. Now I want to draw the canal in between the cervix, the spindle shaped canal here with the cervical canal, and then I will draw the isosceles shaped uterine cavity, and I shall make the canal dark. That means serous fluid is present here in this cavities. Okay, here is the uterine cavity like the isosceles triangle, and it is the spindle shaped cervical canal. Now it is time to label this figure. We know that if we draw an imaginary line from the opening of one uterine tube up to the another uterine tube, the area above the imaginary line is termed as the fundus of the uterus. Here is the fundus of the uterus. And area below the imaginary line up to the isthmus, this portion is the body of the uterus. Here this portion is the body of the uterus. And it is the isthmus. From the outside, this constriction is known as the isthmus. Below the isthmus, the area up to the external os, this area is the cervix, and we have coined the term external os where this area is known as the external os. So there is another term, internal os, where the internal os is situated. Internal os is the junction between the cervical canal and the uterine cavity. Here is the internal os. So cervical canal is in between the internal os and the external os. Okay. This one is the anterior wall of the vagina. But area in between the anterior wall and the vaginal part of the cervix, here this area, it is known as the anterior fornix of the vagina. Similarly, this line is the posterior wall of the vagina. But the area in between the posterior wall of the vagina and the intravaginal part of the cervix, this area, this is termed as the posterior fornix. And here, the area in between the anterior wall of the vagina and the intravaginal part of the cervix, this area, it is the anterior fornix. And we know that there are two other fornices, and that can be seen in the coronal section, and it is the sagittal section. So here we can only see the anterior fornix and the posterior fornix. Okay. Now what do you think? Does this figure complete? No. You have to write the figure legend at the bottom of the figure. That fig colon different parts of uterus and vagina. It is the figure legend. Now our figure is complete. I hope that you can draw and label the figure very easily and scientifically in your examination khata. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.